Bro, somebody
He
shot
pulled
my
up.
crib. Bro, are you listening to what I'm saying, bro? Somebody hit my crib up before, bro. You sitting in front of my door, bro.
Hit his crib up.
Let's do some, bro. Shit.
Yo. What is wrong with him?
From Fat G's getting ambushed right outside his own home in a hit caught on his doorbell camera, to XXXTentacion's shocking final moments during a robbery caught on CCTV. In this video, we're breaking down some of the most chilling rapper murders ever caught on camera. Let's begin with XXXTentacion. Yo, let's keep it 100 about XXXTentacion. This cat was straight up one of the realest young talents to ever touch the mic. Born in 1998, Jahseh Onfroy could switch from aggressive bars to emotional vulnerability like he was flipping a switch. This young king had already blown up by age 20, connecting with millions of kids worldwide who felt that same pain and struggle he was spitting about in his tracks. June 18th, 2018 started off regular for X in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Bro had just hit up Bank of America to pull some serious cash. We're talking $50,000 in a Louis Vuitton bag. After securing the bread, he rolled through to Riva Motorsports to peep some whips. Real talk, X was pushing that black BMW i8, and that ride was straight fire, but it also made him a target for some grimy cats looking for a lick. Around 3:56 p.m., while X was posted up outside the motorcycle spot, two armed dudes rolled up on his whip with bad intentions. The surveillance video from Riva Motorsports captured the fatal shooting during the robbery, and this footage would later be played in court during the trial of his killers. The scariest part is that he may have predicted his own death.
If I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy. Alright, let's say worst thing comes to worst, I die a tragic death.
The footage shows these bums blocking X's path when he tried to bounce from the parking lot. They wanted that Louis Vuitton bag with $50,000, and they were willing to body this young king to get it. The surveillance caught every second, the approach, the struggle, and the gunshots that ended a promising life. The investigation was thorough, and that surveillance footage became the backbone of the case against four cats: Dedrick Williams, Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, and Robert Allen. X's moms, Cleopatra Bernard, stayed strong through the trial, even when they had to watch that footage repeatedly for justice. While XXXTentacion's death was caught on store surveillance during a carefully planned robbery, our next story involves an even more established figure whose murder was captured at his own business, a location representing everything he had built for his community. Nipsey Hussle. Real talk, when they took out Nipsey Hussle, the culture lost more than just a dope rapper. We lost a true OG who was really about that community life. Ermias Asghedom had transformed from a young dude caught up in the streets to a businessman building an empire while lifting up the hood that raised him. Marathon Clothing wasn't just another merch spot. This was Nipsey's flagship on Crenshaw and Slauson, representing black ownership in South Central. The store was strategically located in the heart of his neighborhood, bringing commerce and opportunity to an area that had been neglected for decades. For locals, seeing Nipsey's success gave them hope they could make it too. March 31st, 2019, Nipsey was posted outside Marathon, chopping it up with his people, handling business like he always did. The block was active with families enjoying the weekend, and everything seemed regular. Store surveillance cameras at Marathon Clothing captured the 2019 shooting, and this footage would later aid in the conviction of the shooter. The surveillance showed a cat approaching Nipsey and his crew, having what looked like regular conversation before walking away. Minutes later, this same dude came back strapped and started dumping shots at close range. What made this footage heartbreaking was seeing how normal everything was before the violence popped off. The shooter turned out to be Eric Holder, someone who knew Nipsey personally from the neighborhood. The surveillance footage was crucial in proving Holder was at the scene and establishing the timeline. Multiple camera angles gave investigators a complete picture of what went down outside the Marathon store. Nipsey's death hit different because he was scheduled to meet with LAPD the next day to discuss reducing gang violence. A close friend who witnessed his last moments had this to say.
He was fighting the whole time. He fought hard. Up until he went to the hospital, he was still breathing and he was doing good.
Unlike XXXTentacion's random robbery by strangers, Nipsey's murder was deeply personal, carried out by someone from his own circle. Our next case takes us to Memphis, where another independent rap mogul would meet his end while buying cookies from a local spot he frequented: Young Dolph. When they got Young Dolph, the independent rap game lost one of its biggest champions. Marathon Clothing wasn't just another merch spot. This was Nipsey's flagship on Crenshaw and Slauson, representing black ownership in South Central. The store was strategically located in the heart of his neighborhood, bringing commerce and opportunity to an area that had been neglected for decades. For locals, seeing Nipsey's success gave them hope they could make it too. March 31st, 2019, Nipsey was posted outside Marathon, chopping it up with his people, handling business like he always did. The block was active with families families enjoying the weekend, and everything seemed regular. Store surveillance cameras at Marathon Clothing captured the 2019 shooting, and this footage would later aid in the conviction of the shooter. The surveillance showed a cat approaching Nipsey and his crew, having what looked like regular conversation before walking away. Minutes later, this same dude came back strapped and started dumping shots at close range. What made this footage heartbreaking was seeing how normal everything was before the violence popped off. The shooter turned out to be Eric Holder, someone who knew Nipsey personally from the neighborhood. The surveillance footage was crucial in proving Holder was at the scene and establishing the timeline. Multiple camera angles gave investigators a complete picture of what went down outside the Marathon store. Nipsey's death hit different because he was scheduled to meet with LAPD the next day to discuss reducing gang violence. A close friend who witnessed his last moments had this to say.
He was fighting the whole time. He fought hard up until he went to the hospital. He was still breathing and he was doing good.
Unlike XXXTentacion's random robbery by strangers, Nipsey's murder was deeply personal, carried out by someone from his own circle. Our next case takes us to Memphis, where another independent rap mogul would meet his end while buying cookies from a local spot he frequented, Young Dolph. When they got Young Dolph, the independent rap game lost one of its biggest champions. Adolph Thornton Jr. had built Paper Route Empire from the ground up without bending to any major label. Coming straight out of Memphis, Dolph showed the culture you could stay independent, get your money right, and still compete with the biggest names in the game. Through Paper Route Empire, he created opportunities for other artists while keeping control over his masters and money. This dude constantly dropped knowledge about ownership, inspiring other rappers to bet on themselves instead of signing their lives away to labels that would own their souls. November 17, 2021, Dolph was back home visiting family when he slid through Makeda's Homemade Cookies. This local black-owned business was known throughout the city for the best cookies, and it was exactly the type of spot Dolph always supported. Surveillance cameras at Makeda's Homemade Cookies captured the 2021 ambush, and this footage was later used by police to identify suspects. The surveillance video shows Dolph walking in looking comfortable, just another customer supporting local business. But the cameras also caught two shooters rolling up with murder on their minds. The footage revealed how quickly the situation turned deadly. This wasn't heat-of-the-moment beef. This was a planned execution. The quality of the video was so good that investigators could track these dudes' movements and build a comprehensive case. The shooter himself confessed to the murder, making it an open and shut case.
I shot through the glass, so I wasn't close up on him. I was shooting through the glass. I saw him standing by the window. I just got out and started shooting.
Memphis was in mourning when they lost Dolph. This wasn't just another rapper getting killed. This was a pillar who regularly blessed families with Thanksgiving turkeys and threw block parties that brought the whole neighborhood together. Where Nipsey's death was personal betrayal, Young Dolph's murder represented a cold calculation of street warfare. But our next story shifts to Atlanta, where a rising Chicago star's death would be captured not just by surveillance, but by multiple witnesses during a chaotic nightclub shootout. King Von's story shows how quickly the streets can snatch you even when you're trying to level up. Davon Bennett came straight out of Chicago's O Block, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America, and had turned his street experiences into some of the realest drill music ever recorded. When Von spit bars, you could visualize every scene he painted. Von's background was rooted deep in the South Side's gang culture, where beef spanned generations and bodies dropped regularly over territory and respect. His music reflected that harsh reality with vivid street narratives that resonated with listeners who had lived similar experiences or wanted to understand that world from someone who had survived it. November 6, 2020, Von was in Atlanta, outside Monaco Hookah Lounge with his crew, probably feeling more relaxed than he would on his own block. Atlanta was supposed to be neutral territory, where cats could focus on music instead of watching their backs every second. But what started as words quickly escalated into something deadly. Security cameras and bystander cell phone videos captured the 2020 shootout outside the Atlanta nightclub. The footage from multiple angles shows how fast everything got out of hand, from verbal disrespect to physical altercation to gunshots echoing through the parking lot. Quando Rondo, who was at the scene, had this to say.
Boom, bam. I walk from the car. I turn around to walk up. I see a group of, it's like I had an out-of-body experience.
What makes Von's case particularly painful is the whole confrontation seemed avoidable. Just egos, alcohol, and firearms creating a deadly combination. The investigation was complicated by multiple parties involved and off-duty police working security at the venue. Von's death devastated the Chicago drill scene. He had been one of the most promising young voices with natural storytelling ability that set him apart. Having multiple video recordings meant his death became widely viewed across social media, creating additional trauma for his family. While King Von's death was captured by multiple cameras during a chaotic public altercation, our next case represents something unprecedented. A murder literally broadcast live to hundreds of viewers through social media. Indian Red Boy. Indian Red Boy's death represents some next-level tragic shit. A murder literally streamed live to the world. Zarel Rivera was a Los Angeles-based rapper grinding to build his following through music and social media. Like most modern artists, staying connected through Instagram Live was crucial for building audiences and engagement, but what he couldn't predict was one session would capture his final moments. Indian Red Boy was part of the LA rap scene where social media games were everything. Cats were constantly going live, sharing their locations, showing off their lifestyle, and building intimate connections with their followers. This strategy worked for building audiences, but it also created serious security risks that many artists either didn't understand or chose to ignore. May 20th, 2021, Indian Red Boy was sitting in his whip in Hawthorne, California, when he decided to hop on Instagram Live to connect with fans. This was supposed to be routine, casual interaction to maintain his buzz and keep his name in people's mouths. He was relaxed and comfortable, chopping it up with viewers about whatever was on his mind. The Instagram live stream recorded the 2021 shooting in his car, and this footage went viral after the incident. Gunshots suddenly erupted while hundreds of followers watched in real time. Fans went from enjoying casual entertainment to witnessing murder through their devices. The live stream captured not only the shooting, but immediate chaos that followed. Viewers could hear gunshots, see the impact, and witness the aftermath as it unfolded. This created a uniquely disturbing record that was simultaneously broadcast to a live audience who became unwitting witnesses to murder. The investigation was helped by Instagram Live footage, providing real-time documentation. But hundreds of people had watched online, many recording their own versions, creating multiple copies across platforms, making distribution control impossible. The viral nature raised serious questions about social media platforms' responsibility with graphic content. The footage spread rapidly, despite graphic content, creating additional trauma for families dealing with their loved one's death, becoming viral content. While Indian Red Boy's murder was uniquely captured through his own social media activity, our next case brings us back to hotel surveillance, documenting a birthday celebration turned deadly. Julio Foolio. Julio Foolio's death represents how violence continues plaguing the rap game. Charles Jones was a Jacksonville rapper building serious momentum with authentic street narratives from Duval County, reflecting harsh realities of a city struggling with high murder rates and ongoing street conflicts that had claimed numerous young lives. Foolio had been working to establish himself as a major voice in Southern hip-hop, using his platform to tell stories about his experiences growing up in Jacksonville's dangerous neighborhoods. Like many artists from challenging backgrounds, his music served as both therapy and a potential pathway to escape the cycle of violence and poverty. June 23, 2024, Foolio was celebrating his 26th birthday at a Tampa hotel, surrounded by his crew. The celebration was supposed to be positive vibes, enjoying success and looking forward to continued growth in his career. He had chosen Tampa to get away from Jacksonville's dangers and celebrate in what should have been safer territory. But celebration turned to tragedy when shooters ambushed him in the Tampa hotel parking lot, with surveillance footage from the Holiday Inn capturing the attackers approaching his car. The video shows the calculated nature of the attack, clearly targeting Foolio's vehicle in what appears to be a planned assassination. Holiday Inn surveillance captured multiple angles, providing comprehensive footage. The video shows suspects' approach, strategic positioning, and execution of the shooting. The hotel's security system created detailed crime documentation crucial for investigation and prosecution efforts. The most painful part is that Foolio was warned to leave the path before it consumed him.
I'm just worried that if you still stick to that same blueprint, it's going to end badly. So, as someone who's been doing it, as someone who's 47 years old, who's seen the same type of sad story over and over again, you've gotten to where you need to be to get noticed.
The investigation moved quickly, aided by surveillance quality. Police were able to announce arrests in connection with the shooting, with video evidence playing crucial roles in identifying suspects and building prosecution cases. While Foolio's death was captured through hotel surveillance, our next case shows how highway violence was documented through multiple recording devices during a high-speed chase. Mo 3. Mo 3's death showed how street beef can follow you anywhere, transforming busy highways into battlegrounds. Melvin Noble was a Dallas rapper building buzz with his unique sound that blended melodic hooks with hard street narrative, creating music that resonated with fans who appreciated both his vocal ability and authentic stories about life in the trenches. Coming from North Dallas, Mo 3 understood the streets, but was focused on using his talent to build something bigger. His music reflected the duality of street life, the loyalty and brotherhood alongside the violence and loss that came with that lifestyle. He had been gaining momentum with streaming numbers showing he was connecting with audiences beyond his local market. November November 11th, 2020, Mo 3 was driving on a Dallas highway, probably handling routine business, when shit got real fast. What initially appeared to be road rage quickly revealed itself as something much more sinister and calculated. Dashcam footage from his vehicle and nearby traffic cameras recorded the pursuit and shooting. The dashcam footage captured terrifying moments when another vehicle began pursuing Mo 3's car at high speed, showing how quickly a routine drive turned into a life-or-death chase. Traffic cameras positioned along the highway caught different angles of the pursuit and subsequent shooting, creating multiple perspectives of the tragic incident. The footage reveals the determination of the attackers and Mo 3's desperation as he tried to escape what he must have realized was a planned hit. What made this case particularly disturbing was seeing the attack unfold on a busy public highway with innocent drivers nearby who suddenly found themselves in the middle of chaos. On the streets, one of the primary suspects of Yella Beezy, but he denied having any beef with the young rapper when he was interviewed.
Yo, when Mo 3 was alive, you guys didn't get along much, right? Or am I wrong about that?
You wrong.
I'm wrong. You guys did get along.
We ain't never had no problem.
You never had no problem.
Unlike previous stationary locations, Mo 3's death was captured during a mobile chase scenario, showing how violence can erupt anywhere when determined killers are involved. BTB Savage. BTB Savage's murder in Houston showed how quickly rising success can make you a target when jealousy and street politics intersect with deadly consequences. Daryl Gentry was a promising young rapper gaining serious attention with hard-hitting tracks and authentic street narratives that resonated with fans who appreciated his raw honesty about life in the trenches. Houston's rap scene has always been competitive and sometimes dangerous, with territorial disputes and personal beefs that can turn deadly when success brings unwanted attention. BTB Savage was navigating this landscape while building a legitimate career, but his rising profile may have painted a target on his back from individuals who saw his success as threat or opportunity. The young rapper had been working hard to establish himself, releasing music that showcased both his lyrical ability and understanding of what audiences wanted. His tracks often dealt with street themes and personal experiences, creating authentic content that connected with listeners who had lived similar experiences. March 30th, 2023, BTB Savage was in Houston when he became the victim of a targeted shooting that ended his promising career. Surveillance video from the area captured the incident, leading to an arrest. The surveillance footage provided crucial evidence for investigators, showing the calculated and deliberate nature of the attack. The video helped law enforcement understand exactly what transpired and identify individuals responsible for ending BTB Savage's life. The clarity and positioning of security cameras created comprehensive crime documentation essential for prosecution. The investigation moved efficiently thanks to surveillance footage quality, providing clear images of the shooter and circumstances surrounding the attack. This video evidence was instrumental in leading to the arrest of Montrell Burley in connection with the murder, showing how modern security technology continues playing crucial roles in solving violent crimes. While BTB Savage's death was documented through area surveillance that quickly led to arrests, our next case represents an even more recent tragedy, showing violence has continued into 2025. LGP Qua. LGP Qua's recent murder in Philadelphia shows that 2025 brought no relief from the epidemic of violence plaguing hip-hop, with another promising young life cut short just as the year was beginning. Abdul Vix was a local rapper trying to make his mark in Philadelphia's competitive and often dangerous music scene, where talent alone isn't always enough to guarantee survival. Philadelphia's rap scene has always been gritty and authentic, reflecting harsh realities of life in a city that has struggled with high crime rates and economic challenges for decades. LGP Qua was part of a new generation of artists trying to use their music to document experiences while creating opportunities to escape circumstances that shape their worldview. The young rapper had been working to build his following and establish himself as a voice for his community, using his platform to tell stories that might otherwise go unheard. Like many artists from challenging backgrounds, his music served multiple purposes: artistic expression, social commentary, and potential economic opportunity. The shooting occurred in Philadelphia's Juniata Park section, a neighborhood that has seen its share of violence over the years. Surveillance video showed suspects fleeing, released by police to aid the investigation. The surveillance footage captured the aftermath of the shooting, showing two suspects fleeing the scene after carrying out the attack. Police released this video to the public, hoping community members could help identify the killers and bring justice for LGP Qua's senseless murder. The video evidence, while not capturing the shooting itself, provided important documentation of the suspect's escape and physical descriptions. This footage became a key investigation tool, giving detectives and public clear images of individuals responsible for ending LGP Qua's life. LGP Qua's death represents the continuation of a tragic pattern where young artists with potential are gunned down before they can fully realize their dreams. His case shows how surveillance technology continues providing crucial evidence in these investigations, even when cameras don't capture the actual crime. The investigation demonstrates how modern law enforcement uses all available technology and community resources to seek justice, with surveillance footage playing increasingly important roles in identifying suspects and building cases. This case represents an ongoing epidemic affecting hip-hop artists nationwide, with surveillance technology continuing to document tragedies while families mourn lost talent. G. Lil Ronnie. G. Lil Ronnie's death at a Texas car wash shows how mundane locations can become crime scenes when violence targets young rappers simply trying to live their lives. Ronnie Sibley was killed at a car wash in Forest Hill, Texas, in another senseless act demonstrating how nowhere is truly safe when you're an artist who might have enemies or be in the wrong place at the wrong time. The car wash setting made this murder particularly jarring because it represented such normal routine activity that millions do without thinking about safety. For G. Dollar Lil Ronnie, what should have been a simple stop to clean his vehicle became the location where his life would be violently ended. Car washes have traditionally been considered relatively safe public spaces where people conduct routine maintenance while going about daily business. The fact that this location became a murder scene highlights how violence can erupt anywhere when determined killers are involved, and how even mundane activities can become dangerous for high-profile individuals. TMZ obtained still images and video from the scene showing the shooting. Footage captured the incident at the car wash, providing documentation of yet another tragic loss in the hip-hop community. The video evidence showed how quickly the situation escalated and how the attack was carried out in broad daylight. The availability of this footage to media outlets demonstrates how surveillance technology has become ubiquitous in modern society, with cameras at virtually every commercial location creating comprehensive documentation of both routine activities and tragic crimes. This constant surveillance has become both a tool for justice and source of graphic content. The video evidence demonstrates how violence continues plaguing young artists in 2025, with surveillance technology documenting these tragedies while families and communities process the loss of another promising talent. The footage serves as both evidence for potential prosecution and permanent record of a life cut short. Lil Ronnie's case represents an ongoing pattern affecting hip-hop artists across the country, showing how these tragedies continue occurring in all types of locations and circumstances. The surveillance footage adds his name to the growing list of rappers whose final moments have been preserved on camera. However, while it's not clear how the killers knew his position, the next rapper was killed after social media surveillance. PNB Rock. PNB Rock was straight up living his best life, from the trap to mainstream success. But the streets don't care about your streaming numbers or chart positions. This young king from Philly had been grinding hard, dropping bangers that had the whole hood bumping while securing major label deals that should have been his ticket out the struggle. His melodic flows and real talk about street love made him a favorite in the culture. But success in hip-hop comes with a target on your back that money can't always protect you from. That fatal day at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in LA, PNB was just trying to enjoy some good food with his shorty, not knowing that ops were monitoring their every move through Instagram stories. Surveillance footage captured the attack and was shown in court, revealing how these vultures had been tracking celebrities through social media like digital street scouts looking for the perfect lick. The restaurant's cameras caught everything, how these dudes rolled up with military precision after his girl posted their location, turning a simple lunch date into a deadly setup. The footage showed this wasn't any random stick-up. These cats had been doing their homework, waiting for the right moment when their target would be vulnerable and exposed. Some people believe it was a setup, and not just about the video.
How did they know you guys were in there? Besides the posting of anything.
Felt like he got set up.
What made this tragedy even more heartbreaking was how preventable it was. Security experts had been warning rappers for years about the dangers of real-time posting, but the culture of flexing and showing off your lifestyle had become too ingrained in the game. The surveillance footage from Roscoe's became a wake-up call for the entire hip-hop community about the deadly consequences of oversharing in the digital age. While PNB's tragedy stemmed from social media surveillance, our next story shows how even private gatherings among friends can turn deadly when old beefs resurface. Takeoff. Takeoff was the quiet storm of Migos, the one who let his bars do the talking while his uncles Quavo and Offset grabbed most of the spotlight. This young legend from the North had perfected his craft to the point where real heads knew he was the most skilled rapper in the group, dropping complex flows over trap beats that influenced a whole generation of artists coming up in the game. That November night in Houston started as just another regular dice game, the kind of street gambling that's been part of hood culture since forever. But when money, ego, and old tensions mix together in the streets, things can go left real quick. Bystander cell phone videos and security footage captured the chaos, documenting how a friendly game turned into a nightmare that claimed one of hip-hop's brightest stars.
Don't play like that, bro. Back and forth, bro. I'm gonna hurt somebody, bro.
Oh shit! No, hell no. No.
The bowling alley cameras caught the whole tragic sequence, how the vibe shifted from casual gambling to heated arguments, then to gunfire that nobody saw coming. Multiple angles showed Quavo trying to keep the peace, attempting to de-escalate the situation before it spiraled completely out of control. The footage revealed the random, senseless nature of street violence, how quickly celebration can turn to devastation when guns get involved. The investigation into Takeoff's murder highlighted the challenges of getting justice in cases where multiple people witnessed the crime, but street code keeps them from cooperating with police. The extensive video evidence provided crucial details, but it also raised questions about whether this was targeted violence or just another case of wrong place, wrong time in America's ongoing gun violence epidemic. Unlike Takeoff's random street violence, our next case shows how fame itself can make you a target when you're relaxing in what should be the safety of an upscale neighborhood. Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke was the voice of New York drill, bringing that gritty Brooklyn energy to mainstream America and showing the world that East Coast rap was far from dead. This young king from Canarsie had taken UK drill beats and made them distinctly New York, creating anthems that had the whole city moving while building bridges to markets across the globe that most drill rappers never reach. The 20-year-old was living the American dream in that Hollywood Hills mansion, far from the East Flatbush streets, where he learned to rap over UK drill instrumentals downloaded from YouTube. But success couldn't protect him from predators who saw his jewelry, cash, and temporary address as the perfect score. Home security cameras recorded masked intruders entering the property. Though the exact shooting wasn't shown, the footage was pivotal in arrests and highlighted vulnerabilities of rising stars. Perhaps the most painful part of the entire affair was the last emergency call he made before he died.
Hello? Hello, this is the fire department.
The home invasion footage revealed how these dudes had done their homework, studying the property layout and timing their attack for maximum success with minimal resistance. Multiple cameras caught their coordinated approach, showing this wasn't some random break-in, but a calculated hit on a young rapper who had been flexing his success on social media without understanding the deadly consequences. What made Pop Smoke's case particularly tragic was how his own social media posts had inadvertently provided his killers with the intelligence they needed. The luxury rental, the designer jewelry, the stacks of cash, all posted for his fans to see, but also visible to predators monitoring celebrity accounts for potential licks. The security footage became crucial evidence, but it also served as a harsh reminder of how fame can make you a target. While Pop Smoke fell victim to calculated home invaders seeking easy money, our next story demonstrates how long-standing street feuds can explode into broad daylight executions in upscale neighborhoods. FBG Duck. FBG Duck was keeping Chicago drill alive when many thought the scene had peaked, representing for his fallen homies while trying to make it out the South Side through his music. This soldier from STL had been grinding in the shadow of Chief Keef and other drill pioneers, but his authentic street narratives and loyalty to his dead friends made him a respected voice in the Windy City's competitive rap scene. Duck's death wasn't random. It was the culmination of years of back-and-forth diss tracks, social media beef, and street politics that had turned Chicago's drill scene into a real-life war zone. The Gold Coast shooting was retaliation for years of perceived disrespect, carried out with military precision in broad daylight. Surveillance and bystander videos captured gunmen emerging from cars and firing amid controversy over drill rap feuds and whether diss tracks had provoked the attack. The shopping district cameras caught the whole assassination, multiple shooters coordinating their attack like a military operation, targeting Duck while he browsed. Stores in what should have been a safe area. The footage showed how drill beef had evolved beyond neighborhood boundaries, with killers willing to travel across the city to settle scores that had been brewing for years through music and social media. His case is particularly painful because he was always afraid that someone would eventually kill him.
Well, I mean, you mentioned this before. You feel that people want to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that go through your mind pretty much every day when you wake up?
Every day, all day.
What made this case particularly controversial was the debate over whether Duck's own diss tracks had contributed to his targeting. His songs frequently mentioned dead ops and ongoing beefs, leading some to argue that drill music had become a catalyst for real-world violence rather than just artistic expression. The investigation revealed the extensive planning that went into Duck's assassination, with prosecutors arguing that his prominence in the drill scene and his willingness to disrespect rivals through his music had marked him for death. FBG Duck's public execution in the Gold Coast was the result of long-standing beef that escalated through music. But our next case shows how personal disputes in residential areas can turn just as deadly when caught on modern security systems. Slim 400. Slim 400 was pure Compton, repping his hood with the same authenticity that made legends like Kendrick and YG before him. But staying true to his neighborhood came with dangers that even success couldn't eliminate. This Blood affiliate had built a solid reputation collaborating with West Coast heavyweights while maintaining his street credibility, walking that fine line between rap success and hood loyalty that's claimed by too many talented artists. That December night in Inglewood, Slim was just pulling up to his crib, probably thinking he was safe in his own driveway after another day of grinding in the studio. But the streets don't respect property lines or residential boundaries when they want you gone. Doorbell camera footage captured the shooting, becoming controversial for its graphic leak online and ties to alleged gang rivalries that had followed him throughout his career. The doorbell cam caught everything in high definition. What started as a regular conversation in his driveway quickly escalated into a deadly confrontation that ended his life. The crystal clear footage showed how quickly street disputes can turn fatal, with the argument escalating to gunfire in a matter of seconds. The video's audio even captured the verbal exchange that preceded the violence, providing investigators with crucial evidence about potential motives. What made this case particularly disturbing was how the graphic footage leaked online, violating Slim's family's privacy during their grief, while turning his final moments into social media content. The doorbell camera that was installed to protect his home became the technology that preserved his death for public consumption, raising serious questions about digital privacy and the ethics of sharing violent content. Unlike Slim 400's intimate driveway confrontation captured by residential security, our next case shows how professional recording studios can become battlegrounds when street politics invade creative spaces. Bankroll Fresh. Bankroll Fresh was Atlanta's next up, grinding in the city's competitive rap scene where every neighborhood seems to produce the next superstar. But staying authentic to your roots can be dangerous when beef follows you to the studio. This young hustler had been building momentum with his energetic delivery and street-smart lyrics, earning respect from established ATL artists while maintaining his connection to the neighborhoods that shaped his worldview. Street Exec Studio should have been a safe space for creativity, where artists could focus on their craft without worrying about outside drama following them through the doors. But when you're really from the streets, sometimes the streets come looking for you wherever you are. Studio surveillance cameras recorded the exchange of over 50 shots, sparking controversy over studio security and unsolved aspects despite the extensive footage captured. The parking lot turned into a war zone that night, with the surveillance footage capturing a gun battle that lasted several minutes and involved multiple shooters exchanging dozens of rounds. The cameras documented the tactical nature of the assault, showing how the attackers had coordinated their approach and positioned themselves for maximum damage. This wasn't some spontaneous beef. This was a planned military-style operation designed to send a message. What made the footage particularly significant was how it revealed the calculated nature of the attack while also highlighting the inadequate security measures at recording facilities. The videos showed multiple vehicles, numerous participants, and a level of firepower that suggested this was about more than just personal beef. This was about territory, respect, and the deadly consequences of street politics invading creative spaces. Despite having some of the most comprehensive video evidence investigators had ever seen in a homicide case, Bankroll Fresh's murder remains unsolved years later. The extensive surveillance footage provided unprecedented documentation of the crime, but the complexity of the case and the number of participants have made prosecution challenging, leaving his family and community without closure. While Bankroll Fresh's studio shooting involved extensive planning and multiple participants, our next case demonstrates how street beef can follow artists anywhere, even during routine drives through their own neighborhoods. Chinx. Chinx was Queens through and through, repping Far Rockaway while building bridges to French Montana's Coke Boys crew that should have provided him protection and opportunities beyond his neighborhood boundaries. This rising star had been grinding in New York's competitive hip-hop scene, earning recognition for his smooth delivery and street credibility that resonated with listeners who appreciated authentic narratives over manufactured personas. That May evening in Queens started like any other drive through his own neighborhood, but when ops want you gone, they'll catch you at red lights, gas stations, or anywhere else you you let your guard down. Dash cam and traffic camera footage captured the attack, creating controversy due to delays in solving the case despite comprehensive video evidence and links to French Montana's circle. It's crazy. Look at this nigga's shit. They did this nigga's shit dirty. You see where the shots is at? It's like, right, like he's basically shooting them in his face. Nah, they shot from over there, bro. Oh, it came from this way? Damn. The intersection cameras caught the whole assassination from multiple angles. How the shooters had been tracking Chinks through Queens traffic, timing their attack for when he'd be most vulnerable at that red light. The footage revealed this wasn't some random drive-by, but a carefully orchestrated hit that required surveillance of the victim's movements and precise timing to execute successfully. What made the video evidence particularly compelling was how it documented every aspect of the crime, from the initial stalking through the aftermath of the shooting. Traffic cameras captured license plates, faces, and vehicle descriptions, while dash cam footage from nearby cars provided additional angles and audio that helped investigators understand the full scope of the attack. Chinks' documented drive-by assassination shows how street beef can catch you anywhere, but our next case proves that even celebration venues can become scenes of deadly violence when conflicts follow artists to their performances. Doe B was Alabama's hope for putting his state on the hip-hop map, grinding for Montgomery with the same determination that had made legends out of artists from neighboring states. But staying connected to your hometown crowd can be dangerous when enemies know where to find you. This young talent had been building significant buzz throughout the South, earning collaborations and recognition that suggested Alabama rap might finally get the respect it deserved. Centennial Hill Bar and Grill should have been a celebration spot where Doe B could perform for his home crowd and enjoy the success he'd been working toward his whole life. But when you're really from the streets, sometimes your past follows you into the club and turns celebration into tragedy. Security cameras inside the venue captured the chaos, leading to controversy over club violence and the quick arrest that followed the tragic incident. The nightclub footage showed how quickly a performance venue can transform into a crime scene when underlying tensions reach their breaking point. Multiple security cameras captured the moments leading up to the shooting, revealing how Doe B had been interacting with fans and enjoying what appeared to be a successful show before the situation deteriorated into deadly chaos. The controversy surrounding Doe B's death extended beyond the shooting itself to questions about venue security and the responsibility of entertainment establishments to protect performers and patrons. The footage revealed both the potential and limitations of security measures, showing how even monitored venues can become scenes of violence when determined individuals bring deadly intent into crowded spaces. While Doe B's club shooting was captured by comprehensive venue security, our next case shows how even hospital visits, moments that should represent hope and new life, can become opportunities for enemies to strike. Lil Phat. Lil Phat was Baton Rouge bred, representing Louisiana's hip-hop scene while building connections that should have expanded his opportunities beyond the South. But success in rap can make you a target for people who see your wealth as their opportunity. This young Father to Be had been grinding in the competitive Southern rap circuit, earning recognition for his authentic street narratives and building a following that appreciated his genuine approach to storytelling. The hospital visit should have been one of the happiest moments of his life, waiting for his child to be born, thinking about the future he wanted to build for his family through his music career. But when you've got enemies tracking your movements, they'll hit you anywhere, even in parking garages outside maternity wards. Surveillance footage showed the shooters, creating controversy due to gang-related motives and the eventual conviction involving Russian mob connections. The parking garage cameras captured one of the most cold-blooded hits in hip-hop history, showing how assassins had patiently waited for their target to arrive at what should have been the safest, most sacred space imaginable. The surveillance footage revealed the calculated nature of the ambush, documenting how killers had tracked Lil Phat across state lines to eliminate him during what should have been a moment of pure joy. Rapper Bossy also believed the heat was a retaliation, but insisted that Lil Phat didn't deserve it.
You know, it wasn't Phat. Phat ain't do nothing to make the situation how it was. His brother had did something to make the situation how it was. It wasn't, Phat ain't do nothing.
The contrast between Lil Phat's life-affirming hospital visit and the deadly intentions of his killers made this one of the most heartbreaking cases in hip-hop history. The surveillance footage serves as a permanent reminder of how criminal organizations can reach anywhere to eliminate perceived threats, regardless of the sacred nature of the location or circumstances. Unlike Lil Phat's calculated hospital ambush by organized crime, our final case shows how festival celebrations can quickly turn into chaotic scenes of violence when street beef follows artists to public events. Drakeo the Ruler. Drakeo the Ruler was LA's most innovative voice, creating a whole new language for West Coast rap while influencing countless artists who tried to copy his distinctive style and slang. But staying true to your hood can be deadly when festival stages become battlegrounds. This underground king had developed a cult following through his unique wordplay and prison phone recordings, proving that authentic artistry could build movements even from behind bars. The Once Upon a Time in LA festival should have been Drakeo's triumphant return to performing after his legal troubles, a celebration of Los Angeles' diverse hip-hop culture that would showcase his talents to new audiences. But when old neighborhood politics follow you backstage, even festival security can't protect you from enemies determined to settle scores. Dot's cell phone videos captured the brawl leading to his death, creating intense controversy due to festival security failures, alleged gang affiliations, and subsequent lawsuits against organizers. The backstage footage showed how quickly a musical celebration transformed into deadly chaos, with cell phone cameras capturing the confusion and panic as what appeared to be a confrontation escalated into the brawl that would claim Drakeo's life. The videos revealed the failure of security systems that were supposed to maintain order in areas where artists should have felt safe and protected. What made the festival footage particularly significant was how it documented not just the violence itself, but the complete breakdown of safety protocols that allowed such chaos to erupt backstage. The cell phone videos showed how festival organizers had failed to anticipate or prevent conflicts between artists who might have ongoing disputes stemming from neighborhood affiliations rather than personal beef. The footage became evidence in legal proceedings that examined whether adequate security measures were in place and whether warning signs about potential violence were ignored or inadequately addressed. Just like Drakeo, who made himself a target, our next rapper may have died due to his own carelessness. Fat G's. Fat G's, real name Derek Gant, was just another young blood trying to make it out the trenches through his music in 2024. But the game got real dark, real quick for this upcoming spitter. This whole situation went down outside some residential spot in North Philadelphia, where the blocks stay hot and beef can pop off at any moment. Fat G's caught multiple shots outside this crib, and the whole attack plus aftermath got captured by home security cameras. The footage showed the homeboy collapsing after getting hit up, and that visual evidence became the center of mad controversy later on.
Huh? Bro, somebody shot my crib. Bro, are you listening to what I'm saying, bro? Somebody hit my crib up before, bro. You sitting in front of my crib, bro.
You hit his crib up. Yo!
What is wrong with him? Oh my God! Oh my God!
What really got the hood talking wasn't just the shooting itself. It was how fast that private security footage hit the internet, straight up. The video showing Fat G's final moments got leaked online mad quick after it happened, sparking all types of debates about digital privacy and respect for the dead. This type of leak game has been getting out of hand lately with people's worst. Moments turning into content for social media feeds. Philly's rap scene felt this loss heavy, not just because they lost another promising artist from the neighborhood, but because of how his death got turned into viral content. The whole controversy around leaked footage of dead rappers has become way too common, raising questions about how desensitized we've become to seeing violence and death online. The situation with Fat G's really highlights how vulnerable up-and-coming artists stay when they're still grinding in the same dangerous blocks where they grew up. Unlike established rappers who might have security teams or can afford to move to safer areas, cats like Derek Gant are still navigating the same treacherous streets, making them easy targets for ops and street politics. For his family, losing their loved one was already devastating, but having to watch his death get replayed countless times across social media added a whole different level of pain. While Fat G's story shows how domestic surveillance can capture violence in residential areas, our next case moves to Chicago's streets, where the drill scene's dangerous lifestyle was documented through multiple cameras during a targeted hit that shocked the hip-hop world. Bloodhound Lil Jet. Chi-Town's drill scene claimed another young soldier in 2024 when Bloodhound Lil Jet, government name Jeffrey McGee, got caught slipping in a targeted shooting that had his name written all over it. Chicago's been the epicenter of drill music since day one, but with that authentic street credibility comes real-world consequences that can be deadly. The whole situation was straight up calculated. This wasn't a random drive-by or mistaken identity type deal. Bystander footage and security cameras caught the immediate aftermath, showing his body at the scene, and that visual evidence went viral across social platforms. The way this footage spread so fast sparked major debates about glorifying violence and how we consume tragedy as entertainment. The worst part is that the murder was linked to a stolen chain.
Stole a chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my own chain.
What made Lil Jeff's case extra tragic was how his death became straight-up content for social media consumption. The footage wasn't just evidence for the investigation. It turned into viral material that got shared, liked, and commented on by thousands of people who never knew his music, but recognized him through the circumstances of his death. This phenomenon speaks to how messed up our digital culture has become when tragedy turns into trending topics. Chicago's drill scene has been under heavy scrutiny from police, community leaders, and critics who argue that the music's violent imagery contributes to real beef between crews. Jeffrey McGee was deep in this scene, and unfortunately his death became another example in the ongoing debate about whether drill reflects the streets or creates more violence. The viral spread of his death footage highlighted how social media algorithms promote tragic content, creating cycles where death becomes entertainment. The more people engage with this content, the more platforms push it to additional users, turning personal tragedies into public spectacles. While Chicago's drill scene provided the backdrop for Lil Jeff's tragic end, our next story takes us internationally to Toronto, where surveillance technology captured another rising star's final moments in broad daylight. Houdini. Taking this conversation across the border to the 6ix9ine, we gotta talk about Houdini, real name DeMargio Jenkins, who was making serious moves in Toronto's rap scene before his life got cut short in 2020. Toronto's hip-hop game has been growing crazy over the past few years, producing internationally recognized artists. But with that success came the same type of street politics that plague American cities. The whole thing went down in downtown Toronto when Houdini got ambushed, with surveillance cameras capturing the shooting and chaotic aftermath, including bystanders' reactions and his body on the ground. What makes Houdini's situation stand out is how it proved that hip-hop violence isn't just an American problem. Canada is supposed to have stricter gun laws and lower violence rates, but that didn't protect one of their most promising young artists from becoming another victim of street beef. This international perspective shows that the issues affecting hip-hop culture cross all types of borders and boundaries. DeMargio Jenkins was really building something special in Toronto's competitive music landscape. His stage name Houdini showed he saw himself as someone who could escape difficult circumstances, probably through his talent and music. Unfortunately, he couldn't escape the type of violence that's been claiming hip-hop artists for decades. The surveillance footage that captured Houdini's murder gave investigators solid evidence to work with, but it also created lasting trauma for people who saw the footage. The chaotic aftermath with bystanders reacting and his body visible was preserved in digital format, creating a permanent record of a community's tragedy that can't be erased. Toronto's hip-hop community felt this loss deep, not just because of losing talent, but because it showed their city wasn't immune to the violence affecting artists in other places. The downtown location where this happened meant heavy surveillance coverage was guaranteed, ensuring multiple angles documented the incident. Canada's involvement in our list highlights how hip-hop violence has become a worldwide issue. As the genre spread globally, it unfortunately brought some of the same conflicts and dangers that have affected American hip-hop for decades. Young artists internationally are facing similar risks while trying to build careers in an industry where authenticity often intersects with dangerous situations. The footage of Houdini's death served as evidence, but also became part of larger conversations about how surveillance technology captures our most vulnerable moments. In cities with extensive CCTV coverage like Toronto, incidents like these are almost guaranteed to be recorded. Moving from Canada's surveillance-heavy urban environment, our next case brings us to Pittsburgh, where multiple recording devices captured the aftermath of a drive-by shooting that claimed another promising artist, Lord Scooter. Baltimore has always been known for its rich musical history, but like many cities, it's also been dealing with violence that affects the artistic community. In 2016, the city lost Lord Scooter, government named Tyrese Watson, in a situation that was extra heartbreaking because it happened right after what should have been a positive community event. This whole tragedy went down after Lord Scooter performed at a concert in Baltimore that was supposed to bring the community together. Bystanders with phones filmed the immediate scene, showing his body slumped in the whip and crowds gathering around, with the footage leaking later and causing major outrage locally. The timing made it particularly tragic, violence following so close after a positive community gathering. The concert Lord Scooter had just rocked was meant to be uplifting for the Baltimore community. These types of performances represent opportunities for local artists to connect with their fans and give back to their neighborhoods, having violence pop off so soon after. Such a positive event highlighted the complex and dangerous environment many hip-hop artists navigate daily. Tyrese Watson was grinding to build his career as Lord Scooter, creating music that spoke to his Baltimore experiences. The city has produced successful hip-hop artists over the years, but it's also seen numerous tragedies involving young people and gun violence. Watson was using his music as a potential way to change his circumstances and represent his city positively. The bystander footage that captured Lord Scooter's shooting aftermath provides insight into how these tragedies affect entire communities. The videos showing his body in the car and crowds gathering captured not just the immediate aftermath, but also the collective trauma experienced by witnesses and people arriving at the scene. When this footage leaked, It created additional pain for Watson's family and friends, who had to deal with their loss while knowing strangers were viewing and sharing footage of their loved ones' final moments. This digital secondary trauma has become unfortunately common for families of artists who die violently. Baltimore's hip-hop community rallied around Lord Scooter's memory, but his death served as a reminder of dangers local artists face. Unlike established artists with security or resources to avoid certain situations, up-and-coming cats often remain embedded in their communities, making them vulnerable to the same violence affecting their neighborhoods. The case remains unsolved despite video evidence existing, highlighting one of the most frustrating aspects of these tragedies. Documentation doesn't always lead to justice. Families are left grieving publicly while seeking answers that may never come. The local outrage following Lord Scooter's leaked death footage showed communities becoming increasingly aware and frustrated with how tragic moments get commodified and shared online. There's growing recognition that viral death footage represents digital violence against families and communities of the deceased. From Baltimore's community concert setting, our next case shifts to Brooklyn's drill scene, where surveillance and bystander cameras documented another young artist's final moments amid ongoing debates about drill rap's connection to real-world violence. Tdat Wu. Brooklyn's drill scene has been heating up over the past few years, bringing new energy to New York's hip-hop landscape, but that authentic street credibility comes with serious consequences. In 2022, the scene lost Tdat Wu, real name Tajay Dobson, in a shooting that got fully documented and sparked major debates about drill culture's connection to real violence. The whole situation went down in Brooklyn, where bystander phones captured the aftermath. When these videos hit social media, it reignited discussions about drill rap violence and whether the music reflects or creates street beef. Tajay Dobson was deep in Brooklyn's emerging drill scene, a subgenre that started in Chicago, but found new life in New York City. Brooklyn drill artists like Tdat Wu were creating music that reflected their neighborhood experiences, but this authenticity often came with dangerous consequences. The same experiences that made their music compelling also put them at serious risk. The surveillance and bystander footage documenting Tdat Wu's death provided comprehensive but tragic documentation of the incident. The footage showing him on the ground became evidence, but also viral content shared across platforms, often without regard for his family's privacy or dignity. Brooklyn's drill scene has been under heavy scrutiny from law enforcement and community leaders, with many arguing the music's violent imagery and lyrics contribute to real-world conflicts between crews. Tdat Wu's death unfortunately became another data point in ongoing debates about whether drill music reflects existing violence or creates new beef. The sharing of Tdat Wu's death footage online sparked conversations about ethics of consuming and distributing such content. The debates about drill rap violence that followed his death highlighted broader concerns about social media platforms' responsibility in handling violent content. New York City has implemented various strategies to address drill scene violence, including working with social media platforms to remove certain content types. However, Tdat Wu's death and subsequent footage sharing showed these efforts haven't been completely effective in preventing either violence or digital exploitation. Tajay Dobson's case illustrates the complex relationship between artistic authenticity and personal safety. Many drill artists feel pressure to maintain credibility by staying connected to street life, but this connection often puts them in dangerous situations where the music building their careers can contribute to conflicts threatening their lives. Brooklyn's hip-hop community mourned. Losing Tdat Wu, recognizing his death represented part of a broader pattern of violence affecting young people in their neighborhoods. His death became a rallying point for discussions about supporting artistic expression while protecting artists from violence. While Brooklyn's drill scene provided the urban backdrop for Tdat Wu's tragedy, our next case moves to Memphis, where broad daylight violence was captured during an incident that also wounded an established artist serving as mentor. Sayzo P. Memphis has always been known for its musical legacy, but in 2025, the city became the scene of one of our most recent tragedies when Sayzo P got caught up in some deadly street drama that also left his mentor, Houston rapper Sauce Walka, wounded. This situation was extra shocking because it involved both an up-and-coming artist and an established figure in the hip-hop game. The shooting that claimed Sayzo P's life happened in broad daylight in Memphis, showing how bold and reckless these street conflicts have become. His friends captured him vibing to his music mere seconds before the shooting. Having Sauce Walka involved brought additional attention to the tragedy and highlighted how randomly violence can affect anyone in the hip-hop community, regardless of status or location. Sayzo P was grinding to build his own career while learning from his mentor, Sauce Walka, who had already established established himself in Houston's competitive hip-hop scene. The relationship between established artists and their protégés represents one of the positive aspects of hip-hop culture, passing down knowledge and opportunities from one generation to the next. Tragically, this mentorship got cut short by violence. Memphis has rich musical history in soul and blues, but the city has also seen its share of hip-hop violence in recent years. The broad daylight nature of the shooting that killed Say So P and wounded Sauce Walka demonstrated that violence can pop off anywhere, anytime, regardless of location or circumstances. The bystander cell phone videos capturing the chaotic aftermath showed not just the immediate scene, but also the panic and confusion following the shooting. These videos provided insight into how communities react to sudden violence and how quickly incidents get documented and shared in our digital age. The rapid online spread of footage from Say So P's death scene highlighted ongoing issues with social media platforms handling violent content. Within hours, videos were being shared across multiple platforms, often with little regard for privacy of those affected or potential trauma for viewers. Sauce Walka's survival while losing his protege added another layer of tragedy to the story. As an established artist who'd worked to build his career and help others, witnessing the death of someone he was mentoring represents a particularly devastating form of loss. Being wounded in the same incident shows how randomly violence can affect multiple people simultaneously. The connection between Houston and Memphis hip-hop scenes, shown through the Sauce Walka and Say So P relationship, demonstrates how modern hip-hop creates networks spanning different cities and regions. Unfortunately, this connectivity also means violence in one city can affect artists and communities in others. The timing of Say So P's death in 2025 makes it one of our most recent tragedies, showing the epidemic of violence affecting hip-hop artists continues unabated. Each new incident reminds us that issues we've been discussing for years remain unresolved. Moving from Memphis's broad daylight violence, our next story takes us internationally to Stockholm, where leaked footage from a young rapper's execution shocked Sweden and highlighted hip-hop violence as a global phenomenon. Einar. Taking our discussion international, we got to talk about what went down in Stockholm, Sweden with Einar, real name Nils Grönberg. This case is significant because it shows hip-hop violence has become a worldwide problem, affecting artists in countries where this type of situation was previously rare. In 2021, Einar got executed in Stockholm in what authorities called a targeted killing that shocked the entire Swedish hip-hop community. Immediate aftermath photos and partial bystander footage from the scene leaked online, creating controversy because of his young age and gang connections. The videos showed police response to the scene, and this international case brought attention to how hip-hop violence has spread beyond traditional boundaries. He took this video just hours before he was killed. Nils Grönberg had become one of Sweden's most prominent young rappers, achieving success in a country where hip-hop was still relatively new compared to the United States. His rise to fame represented globalization of hip-hop culture, but his death unfortunately showed that dangers associated with the genre had also crossed international boundaries. Sweden has traditionally been known for low crime rates and progressive social policies, making Einar's violent death particularly shocking for both Swedish society and the international hip-hop community. His case demonstrated that even in countries with different social structures and gun laws, young artists can still become victims of violence that's plagued hip-hop for decades. The controversy surrounding leaked materials from Einar's death scene highlighted global issues with how tragic content spreads online. Photos and footage from a Stockholm crime scene could quickly circulate on international social media platforms, showing how digital technology creates new forms of trauma transcending geographical boundaries. Einar's young age made his death particularly tragic for those following his career. At just 19 when he died, he represented the potential for hip-hop to create opportunities for young people worldwide. His success showed talent could emerge from unexpected places and achieve international recognition, making his death feel like a loss of unrealized potential. The gang connections mentioned in reports about Einar's death highlighted how street culture associated with hip-hop has become internationalized. Young artists in Stockholm were apparently facing similar pressures and dangers as their counterparts in American cities, suggesting globalization of hip-hop culture brought both opportunities and risks. The police response captured in leaked footage showed how law enforcement in different countries must adapt to handle violence previously uncommon in their jurisdictions. Swedish authorities had to investigate a type of targeted killing more commonly associated with hip-hop violence in other countries. The international hip-hop community mourned Einar's death not just as the loss of a talented young artist, but as evidence that violence affecting the genre had truly become global. His death served as a wake-up call for communities worldwide about potential dangers facing young artists involved in hip-hop culture. While Stockholm's international setting showed hip-hop violence as a global issue, our next case brings us back to American soil in Dallas, where surveillance systems captured a deadly shootout that claimed another rising artist, BFG Strap. Dallas has been building its hip-hop reputation over the years, producing some serious talent that's been getting recognition from major labels and media outlets. In 2022, the city lost BFG Strap, real name Antiwan Dillard, during what investigators described as a shootout that got fully documented by area surveillance systems. This whole situation was different from typical drive-by shootings or ambushes because it involved an actual exchange of gunfire. Surveillance footage from the area captured both the shootout and aftermath, including bodies at the scene.
By my sister's house, that's where he laying that stuff, Ladybug. You see the baby and his car is still running. You see the lights on, his car still running. They said that he got into it with somebody and they were shooting at each other. And I guess they must have got a shot in on him.
This footage proved crucial for investigations, but leaked clips also went viral online, creating the familiar pattern of tragedy becoming digital content. Antiwan Dillard was working to establish himself as BFG Strap in Dallas's competitive hip-hop market. Texas has produced numerous successful hip-hop artists over the years, from Houston's legendary scene to Dallas's emerging talent pool. Dillard was part of this tradition, trying to build his career while representing his city and neighborhood. The shootout that claimed BFG Strap's life was unusual because it involved gunfire exchange rather than one-sided attack. This suggests the incident may have been part of ongoing conflict or that Dillard was able to defend himself, at least initially. However, the ultimate outcome was still tragic, with surveillance footage capturing bodies at the scene. Dallas's hip-hop community felt BFG Strap's death, recognizing local artists face significant risks while trying to build careers. The city's music scene has been growing recently, with more attention from record labels and media outlets. But this growth has also brought increased visibility of dangers local artists face. The viral nature of leaked clips from BFG Strap's death scene demonstrated how quickly and widely such content can spread digitally. Within hours of footage leaking, it was being shared across multiple social media platforms, often by people with no connection to Dillard or Dallas hip-hop scene. The investigation into BFG Strap's death was aided by extensive surveillance footage, showing how technology can serve both positive and negative purposes in these cases. While footage helped investigators understand what happened and potentially identify suspects, it also became a trauma source for his family and community. Texas has experienced numerous high-profile hip-hop violence cases recently, and BFG Strap's death added to this troubling trend. The state's large size and multiple major cities mean violence can occur in different markets affecting different communities, but impact is felt throughout the entire Texas hip-hop scene. The current status of murdered rappers cases often include situations like BFG Strap's, where video evidence exists, but investigations remain complex. Having footage doesn't always guarantee quick resolution or justice for families of the deceased. While Dallas provided the setting for BFG Strap's documented shootout, our final case takes us back to Chicago's early drill era, where dashcam and bystander footage captured the aftermath of violence connected to crew feuds that would define the city's hip-hop scene. Thanks for watching. Check out other cards on the screen.